Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry, for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. And that you're all having a great day. Don't forget to leave a like. It is a free and easy way to support the channel. And a shout out to everyone who's been following me on Twitter and on Facebook. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. This might be a bit of an interesting video is the word that I was looking for. I don't know why it keeps coming in like cyclical waves, as far as like one day everyone's either completely depressed with the cryptocurrency market. We swing over to Wednesday, everyone's feeling great. Thursday evening, a lot more sadness. For some reason, Sunday afternoon, everyone gets very pumped up all over again, and I haven't explicitly figured out exactly why. The cryptocurrency market, everything encompassing Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and the like, has been super positive over the course of, I want to say, multiple years. We're usually quite hard pressed to actually find negative news, if you will, about the market. And I mean, once again, it's either FTX or we've had, and I say this nicely, we've had some times in the past where we hear that a country might not like Bitcoin, or they're making cryptocurrency regulations, but they're like not favorable comparative to other places. But a lot of times when we hear countries who do not give favorable cryptocurrency regulations, these countries tend to not be doing well economically in the first place. So I also don't count it as bad news, because I can't have someone broke telling me what to do. It just really doesn't make a lot of sense. So on top of this, we are once again in the midst of Bitcoin's going to $900 quintillion in 4.5 weeks kind of news. No, like really. Back at the top of the roller coaster, because all the sentiment is like really high in the air right now. A lot of people believe that we are not only on the cusp of something phantasmagorical, but B, it is going to happen within the next couple of weeks. And we've had stuff like that before, and it usually has come true. But this time it actually seems like this person, and I say this nicely, it seems like they actually know what they're talking about, and it's not simply being based off of charts and maps and Marge Simpson and all this other stuff. Like, it's based off of actual reality, and it's just a matter of that actual reality coming true. Bitcoin, according to this analyst, Bitcoin is due to hit a giant 700,000 US dollars this cycle, thanks to a massive liquidity injection. In a post on Twitter, someone by the name of Bill Barhydt, Barhydt, I assume it's Barhydt, founder and CEO of crypto asset manager known as Abra, said that he expects what he calls a cyclical Valhalla to start in Q1. Now, let me be abundantly clear. I don't know, this one's probably the most new and interesting that we've had in a while. Remember, like, to the moon. And then people for a while, like a week, were like, to Mars. And people said to the stratosphere. I have yet to hear anyone say, like, we're going to Valhalla. Oh, actually, no. Samson Mao said that he was expecting a God candle. Don't forget that one. And he was also expecting an Omega candle for Bitcoin. So I guess, we have something heavenly in some sort of in some sort of way. He's expecting this to happen in quarter 1. Unless I am mistaken, there's 12 months in a year and there's 4 quarters. And quarter 1 happens over the course of January, February, and March. Does that sound familiar? Remember at the beginning of the year where every single analyst said they're expecting basically things to kick off in January, February, and March. There was also, I don't know this guy's name, some guy on Twitter, one of the popular analysts, but he was saying that in quarter 1, he's actually, which would, I guess, give us until the last day of March. He's expecting a $170,000 Bitcoin. And once again, that's within a couple of weeks. Bitcoin, he says, at $350,000 is now the base case. A lot of people, for some reason, are giving a base, bear, and what's the last one? Bull? BBB. Oh, look at them. How clever. Bear basically being like how low people think it would go, even if there was a pump. Base is like literally the bare minimum. Like at the base, this is where Bitcoin's going to be. And then, of course, the bull is like, whoa, my gosh, how much money we made. He said Bitcoin at $350,000 is now the base case for Abra's Bill Barheit, a longtime crypto industry executive. In his latest round of predictions, Barheit confirmed not only that Bitcoin to the US dollar would be hitting a cycle peak of 700,000 US dollars, but equally lofty, yeah, he has pretty big numbers for Ether and for Solana as well. The reason he argues, now this is where the logic actually comes in. So this is, now pay attenzione. Remember how I told you 1,000 times we keep hearing like this. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, we have heard that because of ETF accumulation, Bitcoin is going to X amount of money. Because of retail accumulation, Bitcoin is going to go to X amount of money. Because of institutions, because of endowments, everything is kind of like a line, if you will, like a road, if you will. But if you look a little bit further down that road, all of those roads get intertwined because everything is coming to fruition. So we heard last year, people were expecting just from the normal cycle movements alone with whatchamajaggers, with the ETFs, that we were going to hit $500,000 per coin. If we just had a normal market and we did not get any ETFs, that we were still going to around $200,000 to $250,000. Remember those numbers? Those were the normal numbers that we kept on hearing. If nothing else changes, these are the numbers that we're going to hit, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. And then we heard about BlackRock accumulating a lot, and then MicroStrategy, and then what was the other one? How could I have forgotten? The United States buying up Bitcoin. For those of you who do not know, analysts are still, I don't have the news here because it's like, okay, we get it, are still shouting from the mountaintops that if the United States does begin to buy Bitcoin, that it's going to hit $1 million this year. Then, can we all, ask this question as well? If the United States government is buying Bitcoin and we hit $1 million, what happens? Hear me out. What happens when other countries begin to do the same to not get left behind? How much higher is Bitcoin's price then? Not to be left out are the states, like the literal states. And if you missed it at some point, we now know that at least 15 states within the United States are working on bills or passing bills and putting through Senate and yada yada to also begin buying Bitcoin themselves. We know that a number of them are planning on accumulating millions and tens of millions and literally hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin themselves. Lest we forget, Florida has announced that they're planning on putting $1.3 billion into Bitcoin in 2025. So remember I told you like all those different roads that we're walking down, and then you look a little bit further, they're all intertwined because they're, and I say all lightly, but they're all going to happen. The ETFs are going to continue buying. MicroStrategy is going to continue buying. Retail is going to continue buying. The cycle's not over yet. The bull run is still going on. Retail is going to enter. The United States is going to buy Bitcoin. Individual states are going to buy Bitcoin. We know other countries are buying Bitcoin. For those of you who missed one of the other videos, universities, that's with a gigantic S at the end. Multiple universities within the United States are also buying Bitcoin and have been doing so since 2018. That's also before the other countries get in. See, this is why it's very very difficult for me to be bearish on this market. It's nearly impossible. Like I told you before in another video, if there were zero inflows to the ETFs, zero, for 44 days, if we had no news about, if the halving had happened and we were like at $18,000, I'd be like, guys, it's time to it's time to pack it up. This is getting scary. It's impossible for me to be bearish on this market because too many things are happening at the exact same time. And according to numbers and charts and analysts, if we get even 3 of those 19 things to happen, we're going to a $500,000 Bitcoin. Do you understand why I'm always so giddy when I'm making videos? Because unless my back is hurting, which is feeling a little bit better, but all these other things, I'm like, come on guys, you can't be negative on the market. It just doesn't make any sense at all. The reason, he argues, boils down to the new U.S. government administration under Donald Trump. He said, and I do quote, "My model is simple. This administration wants interest rates much lower, and they'll do whatever they have to achieve that. People have for some reason forgotten that the Fed is going to lower interest rates. There needs to be a cash injection into the market, like the literal stock market and other markets, if they're going to continue. Because fiat currencies are falling apart." I don't know if anyone else got that, if anyone's been paying a lot of attention. He said they also need to refinance. Terrible. They need to refinance over $7 trillion in debt. Tax cuts are coming. All of this equates to a massive liquidity injection, whether via quantitative easing or some other means. A lot of other countries in Q1 are also going to begin QE as well. They're basically meaning they're going to be printing a lot of money. So there's QE and QT, quantitative easing, quantitative tightening. You can imagine what tightening is. The easing is basically printing a huge amount of money and pushing it into the markets to make extra liquidity and to make markets go up. Yeah. Barheit referred to a form of liquidity boosting, quantitative easing, yada, 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 so-and-so and so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. He said cyclical Valhalla is coming. He added, with another post giving Q1 as the likely deadline for such liquidity injections to begin. He said the base case for Ethereum this year is a low of $8,000, and Solana's base case, he says, is $900. He estimates that we probably will get to, he says, if we get to Valhalla, we'll get to a $16,000 Ether this bull cycle, which kind of matches the other ones. We were basically hearing between 12 and 14,000. It's not out of the realm of possibility of it going an additional $2,000 higher than that. Yeah, this was, of course, very popular news. It's mainly hey, look at what that rich person said, kind of thing. But, and I'll say it this way, it matches all the other ones. All the other predictions we've been getting have kind of all been relatively aligned. And it's kind of nice to see that there aren't too many crazy predictions because that would kind of throw everything off. But we've had a couple millions. We have a couple 800,000, 700,000 isn't unrealistic. We had a couple 500,000, and a lot of the like bearish, if you will, base case numbers were around $250,000 to $300,000, and his is 350. Crazy, right? That's the rich person said that Bitcoin's going to $700,000 this year. It makes a lot of sense. We'll just see where things go. Once again, when I chat with my friends, when I chat with myself, when I'm going over the news, I'm like, yeah, there's going to be a great cycle. But I know a lot of people get down and or lose hope or lose faith. I can't tell you what to do, but don't miss the train because it's not going to wait forever. That's the rich person news. And yeah, let's move on. So, this was also popular news, and I have a lot of questions about life. A company in Canada called Neptune Digital Assets apparently purchased 1 million Dogecoin for $250,000 as part of their strategy to expand their crypto holdings. The publicly traded company, listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, has also acquired nearly $2 million in Bitcoin, bringing their Bitcoin holdings to 327 BTC, worth $32 million. And then they go on to talk about how it aligns with MicroStrategy. No, everything is not MicroStrategy. Like, there are people like who understand that like Bitcoin and crypto are rare, not Dogecoin, and they're trying to accumulate some. Cool. I have a question for everyone, and please answer truthfully. If you were given $5 million and you couldn't, use that money, you had to invest it in crypto, would Dogecoin be one of your choices? It's a real question, simply because I personally cannot imagine spending millions of dollars, or, I mean, can we be honest, any sum of money on Dogecoin. And I say that not because I don't believe that Dogecoin will eventually hit $1. I think we're well on our way there because of life. However, I feel like there's so many other like betterer coins that I would rather have, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I would buy, are you joking? I would buy $1 million in Litecoin before I even thought of, yeah. And then the last one, I mean, whatever. Anyway, whoa! Neptune Digital Assets has purchased another $1 million Dogecoin. It's not like they, don't make 5 million more of those every single day. So, yeah, if you get a chance to look at Dogecoin's inflation rate, it's a stinker. That's the Dogecoin news. Fantastic. Yeah. Let's move on. Also, this was popular news, and I get it. Like I can read. But it's also like cool. Because something else needs to be done, and it's not so much like this is kind of like the fix-all to it, but people thought it was really cool. Where are the words? There we go. The cryptocurrency wallet known as Metamask has officially unveiled what they're calling an innovative gas station feature, basically aimed at enhancing what they call user experiences during transactions. If for those of you who do not, you should know, MetaMask is the Ethereum like online wallet kind of. They're huge, MetaMask, love it. The problem lies in that so many people use them and they've become so popular that usually when people are doing transactions on Ethereum during like a very heightened period of like activity, remember like the whole when the Bored Ape Yacht Club had their metaverse launching and stuff like that, transaction fees actually rose to $1,000. Yeah, there were some people who were paying like $1,200 during these transactions. And a lot of people didn't care for that. So the idea is that to make it a bit easier, you can pay in other crypto now as opposed to Ether, and I dare say Ethereum, which needs a gigantic upgrade so that transaction fees are never that high in the first place. This latest feature allows users to utilize a variety of tokens, including Tether, Circle, DAI, Wrapped ETH, Wrapped Bitcoin. What the fudge is that? WST? West ETH? I have never seen WSTETH in my life. Western ETH and Wrap Solana. Wow. For gas fee payments when using the Metamask Swap Smart transaction. The expansion marks a significant evolution from the prior limitation of only using ETH for transaction fees, which has, you know, sometimes it's like 58 cents, other times it's like $1.25, and then sometimes, I remember one transaction, it said it was $66, and I said, you are out of your gosh darn mind, and I got up, I made breakfast, I had my day, and came back, and at nighttime it said 22, and I was like, okay, I'll pay the $22. So this isn't a fix, this is more of a, if you got the other coins, you can also pay in those as well. What needs to be fixed is Ethereum so that people don't have to use other coins to pay for their transaction fees. So with the 19 news stories that we've had in the last 3 months about Ethereum upgrading and updating and making things easier to use, I sincerely hope that a lot of those upgrades have to do with getting the transaction fee to like 1 cent, if not less, because there are other chains that don't even have more than 5 cents for a transaction. So you gotta do something because it doesn't make a lot of sense. That's the MetaMask news. Whoa, how innovative. That's so crazy. Like, because you can use like Ether and also like Wabutisa. Like, it's crazy. Like, you know, like we're living in the future. Awesome. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Also in popular news, a company by the name of Purpose Investments is preparing to launch Canada's first XRP ETF, aiming to provide institutional and retail investors with a regulated way to gain exposure to the crypto. You can also just buy it on a crypto exchange. Like, as far as I understand, like, it's legal. These crypto exchanges are regulated and registered with the local authorities that they need be. So this entire idea of like ETFs being like a great way for retail, no, my friend. You can literally just go to Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, Gemini, any other name you might have out there, and just buy the crypto for yourself. This has to do with like taxation. This is the only reason why these institutions are buying it this way, because somewhere along the way, there's some kind of tax law, tax code, and it makes it a lot easier for them. The asset manager, known for introducing the first Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Oh, look at them. Look how much they've grown. Yeah, that was major news in, was it 2022 or 2023? That began the uproar, for those of you who do not know. A lot of people thought that the United States was going to be the first to actually have Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. But old man Gensler said, get off my lawn or get off my crypto or something like that. And basically it never happened. So Canada got them first. And I mean, a lot of the inflows, and once again, this, remember I was telling you before, these things still exist. So 99% of the time when we get like ETF news, it's just nearly always about BlackRock. Forgetting the other 8 companies also have inflows. But people forget quite often that there are multiple Canadian Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, which are also accumulating as well. You know, on certain days, the accumulation levels might, and I air quote here, might only be $3 million, $7 million. But if that's daily, that adds up to a lot of Bitcoin that these ETFs are also holding. However, a lot of people just tend to look in the direction of what BlackRock is mainly doing. So, blah, 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 blah. They filed for a preliminary prospectus with security regulators to bring this new product to the market. If approved, the XRP ETF will operate as a spot ETF, basically meaning that they're going to be buying the actual asset XRP in relation to people who are actually buying the shares of the ETF. Basically, the company will be holding XRP, right? Giving investors direct exposure to the asset's price movements. Cool, fantastic. This one's probably going to go through as well. There's I don't know if we've gone over this a multitude of times. Other countries didn't and don't have a problem with like issuing cryptocurrency ETFs. This is why, I'm sorry. I still remain lightly skeptical of the new SEC because we've been wronged for so long. You can't talk down to me for 13 years and then one day expect me to believe that you've changed. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, as of now, once again, we have around 20 to 25, real number, different ETF filings or applications or things that have been submitted to the US SEC regarding future ETFs. So if we get about like, I'll say 7 or 8 of those by October, I'll be a bit more inclined to believe that this new SEC is going to be a lot better than the other ones. But it is a good foreshadowing. Usually Canada has gotten stuff first and then the US gets it. So we also, know the CBOE. The CBOE has just filed for 4 different XRP ETFs within the United States. They're probably going to get approved. It's just a matter of actually when. But I think we have incredibly exciting times ahead for the cryptocurrency market. I can only hope that everyone's optimism is beginning to rise once again, because, every single day the news is amazing and really good and like it only is like awesome things for us. But I don't know. A lot of people on Twitter still have like a very negative outlook on everything. And it's like, it's just depressing. Like, things are good. Things are fine for crypto. Like, it's, it's totally, yeah. That's Purpose Investments is going to preparing, it says, to launch Canada's first XRP ETF. Just imagine when we have like 20 of these things around the world. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.